And we are back with Lisa Waters Lane in the studio. She comes each week with your garden questions. Just what are people talking about? And oh, are people talking? So I'm now mobbed as I walk across the garden. It's finally nice to have gardeners out. We've been pent up way too long.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
long winter. I'm glad it's over.
Yeah. Welcome to the studio, Lisa.
Thank you. Good to be back.
I keep hearing over and over and over. I think it's been winter since like last summer. It's been terrible. So they're just really tired of all this cold. And so they want to get it. And now they finally said, we're all going to go. It's like in unison. Someone hit a button and everyone went, garden center.
It's
kind
nice.
of fun.
It's fun. I love the energy of people out. They get excited about seeing plants. They get excited about seeing the colors, the smells.
Yeah.
It's a fun thing.
I haven't seen any I saw one little butterfly, but I really haven't seen. I've seen lots of box elder beetles. I know the aphids are out.
Bees are out.
Bees are out. Gotcha. They're on the lavender, not rosemaries and what is that, manzanitas and stuff.
Around looking for stuff.
They're hungry when they first come out of the hive. Yeah. They've been hibernating for 4 or 5 months. They're looking for any kind of flower.
Right. So, and we've got it.
We got flowers, pansies, violas. I was teaching the class and people were walking out going, what is that smell? Going, it's violas. I go, no, that's not it. I'm going, here, picked up about it. There's a little 8-inch or 10-inch baskets. Here, smell this. Goes, yeah, that's it. That's a viola.
They do smell good. I love walking by them because it is just a really nice, sweet smell.
It feels like spring. It smells like spring. Robin Williams said, "Spring. It's when what did he quote it? He said, spring is when the landscape says, let's party. Oh, no, spring is when the gardens say, let's party. And they all just kind of open up all at once. You got to love Robin. Oh my gosh. Miss him. He's a very good comedian.
Yes, he was.
So with that, we go from comedy, my bad comedy or misstepped comedy to questions. And we've got.
Right. So Sherry would like to know, she has some ornamental grasses. She's got muhly grass, Carl Forrester, and some pampas grass.
Great.
Wants to know, when should those be cut back?
Yeah. Okay. That's easy. Sherry, did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay. So Sherry, now, there you go. Cut them back.
Simple answer.
So March, usually so after the new year, here's when you cut back grasses. After the new year, whenever the snow finally beats them up, they start to lay down and look terrible. So pampas grass, they had those beautiful plumes at the end of the year, and then they just got snow and they just kind of fell over and they looked like this mangled mess. Yeah. That's your cue. So whenever they start bugging you, they look bad, cut them back. Now, how far? So everything goes back to about ankle high, except for the pampas grass. That one will go back to about knee high. And you'll see where that matting, or I call it curly cues, or there's an under matting. Take it back to there. Okay. And so you want fresh new growth coming up, not competing with the last year's growth. So it has this brown, kind of mangled dead look. Yeah, get rid of all the dead. In fact, your Coral Forrester grass, I'll bet that's already got some new growth starting to come up. So things are actively growing. Yeah. Cut it back, fertilize them with the all-purpose plant food, that 744 food. It's got bird guano basically in it. And the bird poop, grasses just think they've died and gone to heaven. This is great. And they just grow like crazy. And we mixed with the bird guano cottonseed meal, which makes better plumes. So you get better flowers or plumes coming up on those grass. And so that's kind of how you do it. So Sherry, now
get busy.
I would say in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you should have them all cut back and fertilized.
Okay. Next question is from Randall in Prescott Valley. He wants to know, what is the difference between a shrub rose and a tea rose? And will one do better in a container?
Oh, man, Randall, I could do a whole whole show just on that question alone. Let's see if I can summarize this really quick. And so his was shrub and
tea
roses. So hybrid teas, those are the ones that your grandmother grew. Long stem roses with a great big flower, traditional rose. On top of that, there's a long stem rose that has one or multi. It's almost like a firework went off. It's boing, like multiple flowers on the end of this long stem. Those are called floribunda roses. They typically get about the same size, hip high or so, that kind of thing. Then you go to shrub roses.
Mhm.
Shrub roses are low care. I want lots of color and I don't want to think about it. I don't want to count back 3 nodes, cut it at a 45-degree angle. And I just want it to bloom. And we use them for hedges, use them in containers, we use them to line property lines. They get up about hip to maybe chest high or so, depending on the model. That's the difference. Now that one will have a smaller flower, but more of them.
Right.
So there's more flowers. And they tend to, all of these are repeat bloomers. So all that we sell here at Waters, we know people want not just one flower once and done. We want flowers for the whole season. Those are repeat blooming roses. All of these come in repeat. They come in multiples, but if you're shopping here at Waters, we only sell repeat blooming roses. That's the difference. Then the last one, I guess there's 2 others. We've got ground cover roses or carpet roses. These are roses that get no higher than knee high, maybe even shorter than that. And they kind of sprawl, they spread out. Instead of going up in a shrub, they spread out and they're great for ground covers. And so we'll use those at the edge of driveways, at the front end of raised beds, and they flow over in between boulders. They love the full sun, take the heat, and they bloom kind of like a shrub rose. So smaller flowers, but a lot of them in continual bloom. Comes in lots of colors. Oh, the last one. Oh, I got vining or climbing roses. These are the big boys. I got a fence. I wanted to climb up the fence. I wanted to climb up a trellis. I wanted to go down a barbed wire fence. These are climbing roses. They're big. They'll get easily 10 foot tall and 10 foot wide with a classic big, kind of like a hybrid tea, a big flower to them in lots of different colors. And that's your difference. What would I grow in a pot? Let's go back to Randall's. This is just
original
for everyone.
question.
Let's go back to this. Bring it back around. Randall, I would go with shrub roses. Any of these roses will grow. Not any of them. I'd say shrub, hybrid tea floribunda, or the carpets will all grow in containers. I get a container that's at least 18 inches wide by deep. You can go a little bit bigger. 20 inches or so, a bigger pot. You're better off. It'll last for years and years. It will grow in that pot. Plant it directly into Waters potting soil. That's our growers mix. And that's a medium that roses just love. They'll root into that and give you flowers nonstop 4 years. Pick your favorite color and roll with it. Did we get all of his questions?
I think so.
It went too far. Sorry. It was a complicated question.
Do we do a class on roses?
I have. I've got an article written right now. In fact, I just released on our website how to prune roses. So there's lots of information if you're looking. But
or come in and talk to us.
We've got lots of new varieties of roses right now in stock. And then the 3rd or 4th week, we'll look at the weather. We have 1,000 roses showing up, all in bloom, mainly floribundas and grandifloras, hybrid teas, all the traditional ones. They'll all be at bloom at once. We're front loading for Mother's Day weekend. So lots of colors. So that's kind of the sequence. You can plant them whenever you find them. Stay away from bare root roses. Can I tell you that? I was at, I won't say which box store, but it's in the middle of this warehouse. These bare root roses. It's a rose that was dug out of the ground, thrown into a plastic bag with some sawdust, has no roots, and it was starting to grow in the bag with no light, I'm just going, anyone that buys one of those is doomed to failure. Don't do that. We don't sell bare root roses here because they fail 50% of the time. And that's with gardeners taking care of them. If you're buying it out of a warehouse, you're even less than that, but you're just doomed.
Especially
go with a rooted rose.
Our springs are rough, and if you put in a bare root, it's really going to struggle. So,
Ken and Lisa Lane, the
Mountain
Gardeners. We are out of time. We'll be right back after this.
Okay.